Today we're going to talk about why I love as a native living in Las Vegas, specifically the suburb of Summerlin. My name is Alexis Michaud. I am a native Las Vegan. I've been a tax and corporate law attorney for 20 years, and I am also a second generation realtor. I want to walk you through all of the reasons I love living in Las Vegas and Summerlin, and a couple of the things that I don't really like as well. So I grew up in Las Vegas going to a combination of public and private schools. My husband is from the Bay Area, Marin County specifically, and he attended all private schools and is now a U.S. history teacher in one of the middle schools in Las Vegas. And we'll talk about our schools later on. So what do I love about living in Summerlin? Summerlin is on the far west side of town. It is adjacent to the Red Rock National or Natural Conservation Area. It is a great place for cyclists. The mountains are gorgeous. There's been a ton of rock climbers that have come and have discovered the world-class rock climbing that we have there, as well as hiking, and my family just loves to get out there. I have views of the mountains from the front of my house. It's red, it's beautiful. Being on the west side of town, we are about 10 degrees cooler than the east side of town. And Vegas has kind of a east side, west side rivalry. If you're not from here, you're probably starting to figure that out if you're investigating moving here. So on the east side of town, we have what's known as Green Valley and Henderson. And then on the west side, we have one of the largest master plan communities in the nation called Summerlin. Because Vegas gets warm, one of the main reasons we love living on the west side of town is it is substantially cooler. And when those summer temperatures get up to, say, 115 in the middle of town on the east side, and it's only 105 up here, it makes a huge difference. Why else do I love living in Summerlin? Let's talk about the two articles that Travel and Leisure just put out about Las Vegas and Summerlin in particular in September. Las Vegas was voted one of the happiest cities to live in and to visit for a variety of reasons, and one of them was the low crime. And then another article that Travel and Leisure did just spotlighted how maybe surprising Summerlin is. So Summerlin is 20 to 25 minutes west of the Strip or from the airport, and we are master planned, which means every road, every home, every commercial space, every school was planned ahead of time. If you travel like on the East Coast and you can feel how these cities were just kind of pieced together bit by bit, they don't flow well, they might just not totally make sense. That's not what Summerlin is. And because Summerlin was master planned from start to finish, and we're still not done, they are still developing for the next few years, we don't really have traffic up here, and everything is immaculate. And that is something that my husband and I really notice when we travel, is that when we come home, Summerlin is so clean. There is not an overflowing trash can, there's no graffiti, everything is well maintained. If a bush dies, it's immediately replaced, and having a neighborhood that has this Summerlin standard means our property values remain high. What does it cost to live in Summerlin? Summerlin entry level right now in 2022 is about $500,000, but the way Summerlin is organized, you have a combination of entry level with multi-million-dollar homes all very close together. So we're divided into villages, and the villages all have common architectural or landscape elements to them, but you really wouldn't notice unless you live here and pay close attention when you transition from one village to the next. There's a village called the Willows, and there are these beautiful, huge willow trees. There's a village called the Arbors, the Paseos. The Paseos has more of a, everybody has a balcony, and it has a Paseo influence in the architecture. Some neighborhoods are far more green than others, depending on when they were built. Watering restrictions came in as the newer part of Summerlin was being developed, and so you'll get desert landscaping in the front yards, but it's done really well. Like, desert landscaping to me is not a bunch of rocks. It's beautiful plants that are drought tolerant and water efficient, and it can be gorgeous. So there is just a whole variety here. And then within each village, you have, like I said, you can have a $500,000 property, and a mile or two away, you can have the Summit, which is a Discovery Land Corporation development. guarded by ex-Marines with $20 million homes in that neighborhood. So every village has a combination. Another wonderful thing about Summerlin is we have probably hundreds of miles of walking trails, and the way they've been developed is to keep you off of the larger boulevards and streets. So they go in between neighborhoods, and so you'll see like a walking path down lower, and then you'll have this like beautiful landscaping, and then people that want homes on the walking trails, they built homes that kind of look over so they maybe don't have any weird neighbors really. And then the trails connect from one park to the next park to the next park. So, and you go up and down, it's not just flat. So it's a really good workout, and they weave throughout all of Summerlin, which is, I should know how many miles it is, but it's enormous. Our population is well over 100,000 residents now, just in the master plan community. Another thing that we love about Summerlin are the schools. So I made a point to say that I went to a combination of public and private school growing up here in Las Vegas, and my husband went to all private schools in the Bay Area and now is a public school teacher. So we've had the conversation at length, and we continue to most years, are our kids in the right school? And they have received a phenomenal education in the public schools. We have a 4th grader and an 8th grader right now. The teachers have been top-notch. The curriculum pushes them. It's individualized for every kid so that they continue to grow. And if we thought that our kids should be in private school, we'd put them in private school. So Summerlin really does. We are known for our 4- and 5-star schools. So when you're looking at moving to Las Vegas, you need to focus on the neighborhood schools to find the one that's right for you. Summerlin's also home to some of the best private schools. The majority of private schools in Las Vegas are in Summerlin, and they vary from religious to non-denominational to not religious, with all different types of educational philosophies and different price points. So you have so many choices when you're looking to educate your kiddos here in Las Vegas and in Summerlin.